And to tell you the truth, I was just a very, very little child when Dad began to touch me and engage in a variety of activities. On the other hand, when I was a young teenager, it went beyond simply putting his hands on me and instead consisted of his making me his mistress. When I was a teenager, my mother ended up catching him. Unanticipatedly, she arrived at her house and caught him. I will never have the opportunity to experience what it is like to have a wonderful father. On the other hand, I will never get the opportunity to experience what it is like to be able to sit on my father's lap, wrap my arms around his neck, and simply receive a hug without the worry that it will transform into something else. In my life, I will never be in a position where I can be in pain and ask my father to go get coffee with me, sit down, and just tell him what I am going through and expect him to care about what I am going through. I will never end up with that. And this is exactly what he did, and he did it each and every week, or at the very least once a week up to the time that I turned 18 years old. And then all of a sudden, the tale was made public, and at this point, everyone has gone completely silent. One of the reporters has reached out to Joyce Meyer's office in order to obtain a comment. In addition, he inquired as to whether or not you intend to terminate your show on Daystar. In addition, how long have you been aware of the allegations of maltreatment? We would like to take this opportunity to welcome you all to our channel, where we debate topics such as faith, current events, and the need of honesty in ministry. This morning, we are going to delve into a topic that is both complicated and still unfolding. It involves Joyce Meyer, Daystar TV, and very serious claims that have been made against Joni Lamb and Marcus Lamb, the founders of Daystar. Daystar TV, a renowned Christian television network, has been involved in a scandal in case you have not heard about it. Jonathan Lamb, the son of Joni and Marcus Lamb, made a public accusation against his parents, stating that they had concealed the sexual assault that had been committed on their granddaughter, who was 5 years old, by a member of the family who was referred to as Pete. Due to the fact that Daystar has served as a platform for a large number of powerful Christian leaders, the charges have surprised a great number of people in the Christian world. One name was the first thing that sprang to many people's minds: one Joyce Meyer. How come? The reason for this is because Joyce Meyer has been one of the most outspoken opponents of Social Security, especially within the context of families. She has recounted her tale of surviving horrendous abuse at the hands of her father, which she has come to terms with as a victim herself. This is a story that has helped millions of people find healing and hope in their lives. Joyce has been forthright in her condemnation of SA during the course of her career, and she has advocated for accountability and openness, particularly within the context of the church. As a result, many people anticipated that she would make a statement when allegations of this nature occurred within a prominent Christian household. She was able to enjoy her day-to-day existence on Daystar TV, which many people anticipated would end her television program. However, there has been complete silence instead. There has been a noticeable lack of response on social media platforms. In the comment sections of her website, she has been inundated with people who have asked her to weigh in, to support the victim, and to uphold the morals that she has continuously espoused. An individual user posted a recommendation on her X page suggesting that Joyce Meyer should say something. A post was made by her that read, "Here's what I would say if I were Joyce Meyer. I have made the decision to quit my long-standing relationship with Daystar, and it is with a heavy heart and a mixture of emotions that I feel this decision. Despite the fact that I have known Joni for a very long time, I am unable to quietly condone the things that I have witnessed and heard over the course of the previous 5 weeks. Protecting children, standing up for truth and light, and upholding the marriage bond are all things that are made abundantly clear in the Bible. Furthermore, as overseers, we are held to an even greater standard from the Bible. Every single recording and receipt has been brought to my attention, including the ones that demonstrate Joni's use of substantial amounts of donor money to finance her own personal lifestyle. My body and my long-standing friendship were the three factors that contributed to the delay in reaching this decision. My prayer is that Joni will have a change of heart, that an inquiry into the article will be the main priority, and that Joni will step away. Daystar is in need of fresh leadership that is solely focused on Jesus and operates in complete transparency in order to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ to every corner of the globe through Daystar. However, this is not the end of the narrative. Joni Lamb freely identifies Joyce Meyer as one of the individuals who backed her controversial marriage to sex therapist Doug Weiss, who had just divorced his wife of 30 years. This information was revealed in a recording that was recently discovered and shared by journalist Julie Royce. In addition, there are a great number of other individuals that I have brought into this room that are a part of it, and I will read their names. All right? As for Robert Devey, Robert shared with me that Doug is well known in Colorado Springs for his honesty and ethics. He was the one we went to meet with. This gives rise to the question of whether Joyce's continued quiet is due to the fact that she has personal ties to the Lamb family and Daystar TV. It is interesting to note that it appears that the program Enjoying Everyday Life, hosted by Joyce Meyer, has been quietly deleted from Daystar's library of programming. In the event that you go to their website, you will notice that her show is no longer listed, and her name is not included on their roster of programmers. Despite the fact that Joyce Meyer Ministries has not yet issued an official statement, this could be a significant move because of the circumstances. It is a comfort for many people to see her take what appears to be a clear stance against being linked with a network that is facing charges of such a serious nature. This potential disassociation is consistent with Joyce's message of supporting victims and standing against wrongdoing, which is supported by her own past and compassion for abuse survivors. It has been said numerous times by Joyce Meyer that her tale has been an inspiration to millions of people, and that her constant advocacy for survivors has been the foundation of her ministry. It was a step that many people hoped she would take, so that she could maybe cut off her links with Daystar. Joyce frequently discusses forgiveness, especially when she recounts how she took care of her parents in later years, despite the fact that she had been subjected to abuse. Forgiveness is a powerful and very personal process. Nonetheless, it is essential to make it clear that it does not entail absolving abusers of responsibility for their actions. This distinction is extremely important, particularly when engaging in conversations about situations of sexual abuse involving children. Despite the fact that my mother was aware of the fact that my father had sexually abused me, she did nothing to stop it. As a result, she effectively left me to be raped out of fear. Allow me to tell you that I have spent the entirety of my life dealing with the things that he has done to me. But as they became older, God asked me one morning while I was praying, and he said, I want you to move your parents closer to where you live. Buy them a little house, put them in it, and take care of them until they die. It was then that I realized that God wanted me to do this. I chastise you, Satan, as I have stated previously. Actually, I did it. I was under the impression that God would never ask me to do something like that. However, you should be aware that if anything is God, it will return the following time, and then the time after that, and that time after that. The fact that something sticks with you is one of the ways that you can identify whether you are receiving communication from God. It does not move at all. It is something that you think about, and then the next day you think about it once more, even if it is something as insignificant as calling somebody. In any case, to make a long story short, we did obey God, and I believe that it was perhaps one of the most powerful things that I have ever done in my fight against the kingdom of Satan. Nothing is more effective than showing kindness to someone who has been unkind to you. This is the single most effective way to battle the devil. When it comes to abusers, the church sometimes confuses forgiveness with justifying them. This is a risky situation. Victims are left to bear the responsibility of recovery, while abusers are not held accountable for their actions. It is essential that accountability be taken in the Daystar case, not only for the sake of the victim, but also for the sake of the credibility of the church as a whole. Allow me to be clear. Protecting predators is not a call that God has given us. He encourages us to demand justice, to safeguard those who are vulnerable, and to take a position for the truth. Forgiveness is the process of releasing oneself from the grip of wrath. Protecting someone from the repercussions of their conduct is not the intent of this situation. Daystar TV's credibility has been severely damaged as a result of the claims that have been made against the network. Important considerations regarding responsibility in Christian media and the manner in which leaders react when allegations of such a serious nature are made are brought up by this circumstance. Consequently, what does this imply for Joyce Meyer and the ministry that she is leading going forward? In the meanwhile, as we wait for an official announcement, her actions speak for themselves. Should it be confirmed that she has truly withdrawn her program, this would send a strong message about her dedication to upholding honesty and standing with those who have survived abuse. Do you have any thoughts on the possibility of Joyce Meyer making a move? Should Joyce Meyer publicly address the allegations that have been made against Daystar? Was it the proper choice for her to cut all ties with the network they were affiliated with? In the comments section below, please share your ideas with me. We appreciate you taking the time to watch, and as always, make sure to press the bell button, like the video, and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss our next in-depth look. In the same way that we usually do, we will keep you updated on this story as it develops. Until we meet again, remember to keep yourself informed and engaged.